Good morning!
I'm your radio teacher,
I am your science buddy.
and I'll give you an exciting lesson that you'll surely enjoy.
Sci Talks Radio. Education must continue.
Learning is a great avenue.
No one will be left behind. With new normal comes new learning.
New method, new way of understanding.
Keep on learning.
Keep on achieving.
There's no way of hindering.
Enriching one's dream.
This is Sci Talks Radio, your number one source of science education. Conveying a half an hour of quality scientific teaching on air.
This is
Sci Talks Radio.
Great afternoon, dear grade 8 students. Welcome to SciTalks Radio. We're here again for another Learning on Air here in Radyo Eskwela sa Isabela. Today's episode will surely bring you fun and interesting learning in science. This is Ma'am Valen, your radio teacher. Happy to guide you on our lesson today in Science 8 Module 6. Okay, let's energize ourselves by doing some stretching for 5 seconds. Alright, make sure that your environment is conducive for you to learn.
Okay!
Now, prepare the following materials: your grade 8 Science Module 6, your pen and paper. Kindly clap your hands if you have already these materials. There you go. You are now prepared. Let's start.
Okay!
To begin, let's have a warm-up test. This will determine what you already know about our lesson today. Be ready with your pen and paper. All you have to do is to analyze each item and write the letter of your answer in your paper. Is that clear?
Okay!
Alright, let's start with number 1. What average energy of particles does temperature measure? A. Kinetic, B. Potential, C. Chemical, D. Mechanical. Write your answer. Let's proceed to number 2. What happens to the temperature of an object when the particles are moving faster? A. Reduces, B. Increases, C. Remains constant, D. Increases then reduces. Write your answer. Be ready for number 3. Do all particles of the substance at a certain temperature move at the same speed and in the same direction? A. No, B. Yes, C. Maybe, D. None of the above. Write your answer. Let's proceed to number 4. Does the temperature of a substance depends on how much the substance is present? A. No, B. Yes, C. Maybe, D. None of the above. Write your answer. Let's have number 5. When a substance undergoes thermal expansion, it's blank. A. Mass increases, B. Volume decreases, C. Particles get colder, D. Particles spread out. Now, let's check your answers. Number 1 is A. Number 2 is B. Number 3 is letter A. Number 4 is letter A also. And number 5 is B. Who got 5? Good job! To those who got a low score, don't worry, we are here to learn about it. Listen attentively as we start the lesson. Is that clear? Be ready to find out about heat and temperature after this short break. So stay tuned!
Mare, narinig mo na ba ang tungkol sa online distance learning ng DepEd? Ano ba ito? Ay oo, Mare. Ang online distance learning ay isang pamamaraan kung saan maihahatid ng mga guro ang kaalaman para sa mga anak natin sa tulong ng teknolohiya gaya ng internet, laptop, computer, at cellphone. Ganun ba, Mare? Oo, Mare. Hindi magkakasama at magkakaharap ang mga estudyante at mga guro. Maaaring matuto ang mga bata sa pamamagitan ng online na pagkatuto. Isang mensahe mula sa kagawaran ng edukasyon at ng himpilang ito.
I'm back once again, grade 8 students. How are you feeling right now? Do you feel hot? Or does the weather give you cold environment? Well, this time, I want you to touch any object beside you. Does the object feel cold or hot? When dealing with this concept in science, we think of heat and temperature. When we say it is hot or cold, am I pertaining to heat or temperature? Which do you think? Well, to be certain with your answer, join me in discovering these two things, heat and temperature. Let's get started. Let's start this module with a game. On page 6 of your module, several terms related to heat and temperature are hidden in a puzzle. Now, in just 30 seconds, hunt as many words as you can relating to our topic. Simply encircle the words which may be written horizontally, vertically, or diagonally. Are you now ready? Your time starts now. Time is up. How many words have you spotted? Did you find all the 20 words? That's amazing! We have the following words: boiling, energy, melting, hotness, freezing, to give you a few. For the complete set of words, refer to your module. You have a clear and sharp vision, I must say. To those who miss some words, don't be upset. You can do better in the succeeding activities. Alright, have you experienced having a fever? How did you know that you have a fever? That's right, you check your temperature. What does this temperature describe in your body? Well, in simple description, temperature is a measure of hotness or coldness of an object. But what makes an object feels hot or cold? That's because of the movement of particles in the body, and we call it the kinetic energy. So, temperature is a measure of the average kinetic energy of molecules. When molecules move faster or have more kinetic energy, it shows higher temperature. But when the molecules move slower, containing lower kinetic energy, it means that they have lower temperatures too. Did you get it? But how can we determine the temperature of an object? You're right! We use thermometer. Trivia! Don't you know that Grand Duke of Tuscany, Ferdinand II, invented the most common type of thermometer? Liquid in a glass thermometer in 1650. Now we know. Oh, yeah! With regards to temperature, what are the scales we use? To find this out, turn your module on page 13. Can you now name the 3 units in measuring temperature? You got it right! We have Kelvin, degree Celsius, and degree Fahrenheit. In the information provided, it shows that water at sea level boils at 100 degrees Celsius. What is its equivalent in degree Fahrenheit? Did you just say 212 degrees Fahrenheit? That's correct. How about in Kelvin scale? Did you just say 373 Kelvin? You got it right again. Can you now determine at which temperature does water turns into ice? That's correct. It's 0 degrees Celsius or 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 273 Kelvin. But how was the conversion among these scales? Let's take a look with the average body temperature, which is 37 degrees Celsius. What is its equivalent in Fahrenheit scale? To answer this, we use a formula that is degree Fahrenheit is equal to degrees Celsius multiplied by 1.8, then add 32. Now, let's try to substitute. 37 degrees Celsius times 1.8 plus 32 equals... That's great! It's 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. How about in Kelvin scale? To do that, we just add 273 and the given degrees Celsius. Now, let's try it. 37 degrees Celsius plus 273 is equal to... Exactly! It's 310 Kelvin. Let's try this another conversion. Convert 83 degrees Fahrenheit to Celsius. To do this, we use this formula. Degrees Celsius is equal to degree Fahrenheit less 32, then divide it by 1.8. Now, try to solve it. Is your answer 28.3? You got it right again! Amazing! Trivia! Don't you know that these three scales were named after their proponent? Andres Celsius introduced the Celsius scale in 1741, while Daniel Gabriel Fahrenheit introduced the Fahrenheit scale in 1724. And the third scale was named after William Thomson, who is also known as Lord Kelvin. Have you noticed that when you put ice cubes in a glass of water, the ice will soon disappear? Why is this so? You're right! It's because of heat. Heat is produced from molecules that is continuously vibrating. Though we cannot see the individual molecules of ice and water, they keep on moving or vibrating. Heat is also a form of energy that transfers from hot to cold objects. Between these two, which has higher temperature? Is it the ice or water? Did you just say water? That's correct. As long as there is a difference in temperature, heat will continuously flow. Once heat is transferred or released, it affects the internal energy of a body. You heard it right, internal energy. It is the total energy of the body. It may increase or decrease depending on the heat transfer that occurs. Remember, heat is an energy that naturally transfers from hot objects to cold objects. Try this. Does heat transfer occur between a mug and hot coffee? Did you just answer yes? You got it right. How about when you hang your wet clothes outside? Will there be a heat transfer that occurs? Did you answer yes? You're correct again. Heat transfers from the environment to the clothes that makes it dry. Have you heard of Joule? If the unit used in getting temperature are degrees Celsius, degree Fahrenheit and Kelvin, then joule is the SI unit for, can I hear it from you? That's right, it's the unit for heat. Now, try to touch two different objects exposed in the same environment. Try to touch a metal and a wood. Did you feel the same coldness or hotness? That's right, though they are exposed in the same environment, metal feels colder than a wood. Why is this so? That is because of heat capacity. Kindly join me in saying it again. Heat capacity. The heat capacity of a body is the quantity of heat necessary to raise its temperature by 1 degree Celsius. This means that when an object has high heat capacity, they tend to cool down and heat up slowly. But when an object has low heat capacity, it tends to cool down and heat up quickly. Let's take a look with the iron and wood. When looking at the table on page 11, it shows that wood has higher specific heat than iron. It means that we need high amount of heat to raise the temperature of a gram of wood by 1 degree Celsius than a gram of iron. That is why the iron or steel you have touched feels colder than the wood. There you go! You already know about heat transfer. But what happens when heat transfer occurs to objects? There will be a change in temperature. That's correct. What else? There could be a phase change. Do you still remember the phases of matter? You got it right. Some phases of matter are the solid, liquid, and gas. Let's take a look on ice. When it absorbs heat, it turns to liquid, isn't it? This process is called melting. And when this melted ice absorbs again heat, then it will turn into... That's correct. It will become gas or vapor. This process is called evaporation. But what happens when the water vapor releases heat? Can I hear it from you? Yes, it will turn into... That's correct. It will turn into its liquid form again. This process is called condensation. You got it right. And when this liquid releases heat, it will turn into... Exactly, it will turn into solid. This process is called... That's it, it's freezing. But have you noticed the mothballs in your dresser or the albatross in your bathroom that disappears without turning into liquid? Seems weird. But this process is possible. It is called sublimation. Turning gas substance into solid is also possible. It is called deposition. Now, turn your module on page 14 where you can see a graph showing the relationship among temperature, heat, and the phases of matter. Does the graph show that energy is required for each phase change? True or false? You got it right. It's true. Does it also show that temperature increases during melting? You got it right again. It's false. When the water warms, the temperature decreases. Is this statement true or false? The answer is false. That's correct. Amazing. How about this statement? The temperature remains the same when an object freezes. Is this statement true or false? The answer is true. That's correct. Fantastic. Is it possible that water may change directly from solid to gas? True or false? The correct answer is false. You're correct. Another effect of heat transfer is thermal expansion. Have you experienced when a metal lid cover of a bottle or glass container gets stuck? What do you usually do? That's right. You heat it or you pour hot water over the metal lid to open the bottle. The hot water causes the metal lid to expand. This is what we call thermal expansion. When temperature changes, thermal expansion in solids happen, causing a change in their length, width, height, area, and volume. Generally, materials expand when the temperature increases and contract when the temperature is reduced. There you have it! Can you now define what is temperature? Very good! It's the measure of the average kinetic energy of molecules. How about heat? Heat is a form of energy that transfers from one object to another. It is produced from molecules of matter that continuously vibrate. Does the amount of heat absorbed by objects the same? Exactly, because materials have different specific heat. Now, what happens when an object is heated? That's right, they can change phase or expand. Wow! You have just finished familiarizing yourselves regarding heat and energy. Now, you are ready to answer page 17. I'll give you 1 minute and 30 seconds to answer the crossword puzzle. Your time starts now.
Ito ang bagong simula, ang bagong normal, bagong umagang parating. Ito ang tamang panahon upang maghanda sa bagong hamon harapin. Hindi magbabago ang hanap ng pusong tumulong at ituloy ang ating misyon. Dahil anuman ang sitwasyon, tuloy ang edukasyon, walang maiiwan, lahat ay aahon. Sama-sama tulong-tulong sa ating pagsulong. Anuman ang sitwasyon, tuloy ang edukasyon, tuloy, tuloy, tuloy.
Time is up. Let's check your answers. Number 1. This occurs when a gas state of matter changes to liquid. The answer is condensation. Number 2. The quantity of thermal energy absorbed or given off by an object. The answer is heat. Number 3. A unit of heat. The answer is calorie. For number 4, blank expansion occurs when molecules push each other apart due to change in temperature. The answer is thermal. For number 5, a unit of temperature. The answer is Celsius. How about number 6, a device used to measure temperature? The answer is thermometer. For number 7, the measure of the average kinetic energy of molecules, the answer is temperature. For number 8, the gaseous substance changes into solid without passing through the liquid state, the answer is deposition. And for the last number, 9, occurs when a solid substance changes into gas, the answer is sublimation. Did you answer it all correctly? Bravo! You are now ready for a quiz. Stay tuned. We will be right back after this short break.
Mare, narinig mo na ba ang tungkol sa online distance learning ng DepEd? Ano ba ito? Ay oo, Mare. Ang online distance learning ay isang pamamaraan kung saan maihahatid ng mga guro ang kaalaman para sa mga anak natin sa tulong ng teknolohiya gaya ng internet, laptop, computer, at cellphone. Ganun ba, Mare? Oo, Mare. Hindi magkakasama at magkakaharap ang mga estudyante at mga guro. Maaaring matuto ang mga bata sa pamamagitan ng online na pagkatuto. Isang mensahe mula sa kagawaran ng edukasyon at ng himpilang ito.
Hi there, students! Are you still with me? Be happy because we are now on the last part of our session. It's assessment time! Be ready again with your pen and paper and make sure to understand the questions properly. Is that clear? Okay, let's start. Number 1. Which expands the greatest when heated at the same temperature? A. Gas, B. Solid, C. Liquid, D. All expand equally. Write your answer. Let's proceed with number 2. A substance releases heat without changing its temperature whenever it is blank. A. Melting and boiling, B. Boiling and condensing, C. Melting and condensing, D. Freezing and condensing. Write your answer. For number 3, why is sand hotter than water at daytime but colder at night? A. Sand is solid while water is liquid. B. Sand and water have equal specific heats. C. Sand has a lower specific heat than water. D. Sand has higher specific heat than water. Write your answer. Be ready for number 4. What happens to the temperature if more heat is added to a sample of boiling water in the stove at 1 atmosphere? A. Decreases, B. Increases, C. Remains the same, D. Increases then decreases. Write your answer. For number 5, dry ice has a temperature of negative 110.2 degrees Fahrenheit. What would its temperature be on the Celsius scale? A. Negative 710.0, B. Negative 198.0, C. Negative 142.2, D. Negative 79.0. Write your answer. Next, number 6. Temperature of a body measures the molecular blank. A. Average kinetic energy, B. Average potential energy, C. Differences in kinetic energy, D. Differences in potential energy. Write your answer. How about number 7? During warm days, you cool yourselves by damping your skin with a wet towel. Which of the following takes place? A. Wet towel has no effect on your body. B. Wet towel releases heat energy to your body. C. Wet towel absorbs heat energy from your body. D. Wet towel has the same temperature as your body. Alright, how was the quiz, learners? Easy? Of course, because you listened carefully.
Oh yeah!
You will find out how well you performed in your quiz next meeting as we check the answers. For your additional task, accomplish the remaining activities in your module. Is that clear?
Okay!
If you have any questions, clarifications, or requests, feel free to ask your science teacher. Don't forget to submit your module and quiz papers in the assigned Dropbox area or to the barangay hall. Congratulations, my dear students! We're done with our lesson today. Please read again what we have learned and do your additional test. Is that clear? Before we bid goodbye, let us thank the scientific minds behind this lesson. the scriptwriter, together with the whole RBI production team of SDO Isabela. Thank you for tuning in. This is your Data School on Air in Grade 8 Science with your radio teacher, Ma'am Valen, saying pandemic may come, but learning never stops. We learn as one. Stay at home, stay safe. God bless.
Patuloy ang edukasyon para sa ating henerasyon.
Sa daan ng pagkatuto ay walang may iwan.
Kaya halina sa Radyo Eskwela.